Tell me something. Have you ever wondered why a person can open their heart to you one day and then turn into a fortress the next? Why one mistake, one wound, is enough to change how they breathe around you, how they look at you, how they trust you? It's because human beings don't fear pain. They fear repetition. People don't build walls because you hurt them. They build walls because they believe you're capable of doing it again. Hurt someone once, and their mind becomes an architect. Brick by brick, they start building a structure around themselves. Quiet, invisible, psychological. You think they're being distant. They think they're being safe. And safety always wins over love. The moment you wound someone, their brain rewrites your entire identity. You are no longer the comfort you once were. You become a risk. Every smile becomes suspicious. Every compliment becomes strategy. Every word you speak passes through a mental scanner. Is this real, or is this how it happened last time? Humans are not logical. They are protective. And protection transforms people far faster than affection ever does. Inside every hurt person is a simple rule. If it happened once, it can happen again. And because of that, love becomes calculation. Closeness becomes a threat. Emotion becomes a battlefield where they refuse to stand unarmored. So they create distance. Not to punish you, but to prevent a repeat of the destruction. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this long before psychology existed. He wrote, "Men forget the death of their father, but not the loss of their inheritance." In other words, people do not forget emotional loss. They store it. They guard against it. They build walls so the wound never becomes a weapon again. You don't need to betray someone twice. Once is enough to make them defensive forever. Once a person is hurt, they build a new version of themselves. Colder, sharper, less trusting. Not because they want to, but because the old version of them couldn't survive what happened. So the self that loved you dies quietly, and the self that fears you is born. That's why after pain, people become unpredictable. One day they're warm. The next, they're unreachable. 1 minute they laugh with you. The next, they pull back like they touched a flame. They're not confused. They're cautious. You're not being punished. You're being observed. They want to see. Are you still the same person who broke me? Or have you learned? Soon, the wall becomes their new home. And the distance becomes their new nature. Once people feel unsafe with you, they stop letting you close. Not out of hatred, but out of evolution. Pain changes people in ways love never could. It turns innocence into strategy. It turns openness into calculation. It turns come closer into stay where I can see you. So remember this. When you hurt someone once, you're not just hurting the moment. You're hurting the version of them that trusted you. And once that version disappears, they never fully come back. That is why everyone builds walls. Not to keep the world out, but to protect the pieces of themselves that survived. Because in the psychology of humans, one wound is enough to turn a heart into a fortress.